All right, what's going on, everyone? Jamie Bruce here and Brad Leuthner with Into the Great Wide Opens. We got Ben Milliken queued up. Keith Tuma's over in the back somewhere, and we're gonna dive deep into this open after Toledo Bend. We're a couple in. Brad and I have been rooming together. We got lots of good stories. Plenty of funny shit happens at these things, and some pretty epic occurrences went down. So we're gonna take a dive into that, have a few laughs. You might learn a few things, and get to meet a couple of the boys here, eh, Brad?
Yeah, we got an awesome show. I mean, we got the champ on who absolutely dominated our asses for 3 days, 2 days out there. And Tuma had a really good tournament too. You also had a really good tournament. And yeah, I can't wait to get after it.
Heck yeah, bud. Well, no need dicking around. Let's get her going.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a moment when you're faced with a challenge, and just solving the problem isn't good enough, even if that means breaking the rules and shredding apart conventional ways of thinking, all in the name of creating something truly remarkable. With this much control at its command, we didn't stop with just one. We created two incredible trolling motors. Introducing the new Power Pole Move brushless trolling motor.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain Whiskey.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Want to know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkeley scientists have thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural, man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. No matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
What's up, boys?
Hey. I think Ben's muted there.
Oh, shoot. We lost Ben already. Oh, there he is.
Hi, guys.
What's
Hey,
up,
thanks
bud?
for coming on, buddy.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, no problem. Brad didn't want to when we first heard you were doing the opens. He's just like, another YouTuber. He's just gonna get no bass and break his crayons and go grab his Tamagotchi and go home. But
Hey, I wasn't the one ripping on him for stealing my spot during the dirt, bud. That was you, Bruce.
yeah, I was just trying to make the video.
No, I couldn't be more excited for you. You really did break a mold here, and you're a badass angler. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been crazy. I've been around you at both tournaments, Brucey.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing on my part. I mean, I pretty much just start practice. You got to start wearing your red jersey in practice so I can just follow you the whole time instead of just on Derby day, maybe.
Yeah, I figured after that first day I should probably not wear it, and so I changed into it at weigh-in because it was a little obvious at that point.
Yeah, when there's 20 boats following you down the lake, you could be wearing whatever you want, I think.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh man, so what's the word? Like, obviously it feels great. You've been going through it on podcasts. I listened to you on BTL this morning. There's a lot of the general questions have been asked. But what's next, man? Like, what do you do when you already make the classic this early in the year?
Honestly, man, I'm gonna just keep doing what I was planning on doing before. I not to take anything from it, man. I'm so excited to be in the classic. That is literally like my lifelong dream. I had no idea it could happen so quickly when I signed up. Didn't have any plans for it to. But at the same time, I'm not going to change my approach. I want to do everything I can to win each event, and almost got her done twice. So we'll keep shooting for it.
Yeah, bud. Are you were those the two that you felt like would both like land in your wheelhouse the best, or was Eufaula a bit of a shock? Like how good you did there?
I thought Eufaula would big time. I did not think Toledo would. It's just such a big, vast fishery, and I figured there was so many guys with experience and locals and everything there. And I fished it the day before it went off limits for pre-practice. That was the only day I'd ever been there, and you guys know how big that place is. It's the biggest place on our schedule. By a lot, probably. I know Eufaula, Oklahoma is really big too, but yeah, it was a shocker. I don't know. I had never. The only places I've been to on our schedule, I'd spent a couple days at St. Lawrence River, kind of filming mostly, not really doing serious fishing or breaking it down. And then I've been to Lake of the Ozarks a bunch, but that's all been in the winter. So besides that, it's all kind of a crapshoot for me. And to be honest, I didn't think that these two would be my strong suits. Maybe Eufaula, but not Toledo.
Oh my God, we better really look out then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Like I said, do the best I can. There's so many good anglers out there. You never know what'll happen.
What most surprised you on Toledo? I was since you mentioned Jack York on the last one, I've been following him. He obviously killed it at Eufaula, and I was scared shitless of him going to this one. And
yeah, me too.
I mean,
really.
he had a really. I mean, 59th is a really good finish. And points wise and everything, he didn't bomb or anything, but I figured he'd be up there with you, like at leading the AOI this time of year.
Yeah, Jack definitely. He spent a lot more time on a Rayburn. He spent a little bit of time, he said, on Toledo. I talked to him in practice, and he was just not on him, and he was pretty devastated how his tournament ended up. But I was like, that's like you just said, didn't bomb it or anything. He's still very much in it. He's in, I think, 12th in points or something. I looked up 13th maybe, but there's so much season left and so many different types of fisheries coming up. These two weren't the same or anything, but they kind of ended up being not super different, I guess. So we'll see what happens now.
Right. Huh.
I think things will get shaken up a lot this next one, points wise.
Yeah, it's crazy how volatile the points are. Like if you look at the elites right now, like who's leading and everything, it doesn't, once it gets to 6-7 events, there's really not that much swing. There has to be some crazy things happen for there to be a huge shift. But in the opens on a 200-point swing, it's like it's wild. No one's really safe. And dude, we gotta mention Brett Cannon. He's tied.
We're tied. Crazy.
He's like been absolutely blowing it out of the water. If you weren't in the picture this year, he'd be on the front page of Bassmaster every day for what he's done. I mean, back-to-back thirds is incredible, and then John Garrett behind him with back-to-back fourths. Like, I didn't even realize that was going on until I looked today.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it's possible.
No kidding. Back-to-back thirds and back-to-back fourths. That's probably never happened before.
No.
Yeah. A lot of the guys in the top 20, I think 8 of them were in the top 10 at Toledo, if I'm not mistaken. I might be off a little bit there, but I think someone said that I think Hank might have said that at the weigh-in.
Yeah. Cannon, Garrett, Tuma, Bragg.
Yeah.
I think Bragg.
guy who got the young dude that got second.
Trey McKinney.
Trey.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, he's a freaking hammer.
I don't even understand
That's
how
terrifying.
you can be that good at 18, but
he's from
someone
Illinois.
was saying that they. I know what. I don't get it.
That's
someone
where
was
Pat
saying
fishes.
that. What happened to Pat? I mean, he's basically an 18-year-old, but
Yeah, he acts like an 18-year-old.
They like trip over diapers and flip shopping carts, and it's not like
exactly
really that relates.
No, some guy messaged me when I posted my respects for Trey, and he's like, "Yeah, you think that he's like come on strong now? He's been winning everything for 4 years." He said he was on the Charger Pro staff, and when he got on 5 years ago, they were building Trey a boat when he was 13 or 14 or something. Just bizarre.
Prodigy. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I don't even understand how you can even. I don't know. Can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it must suck.
Probably doesn't know any better. Doesn't have all those old thoughts in his head.
Exactly.
Huh. So, how was the Rager after? I wish I was there partying with you, but I gotta admit I'm a little bit jealous we couldn't stick around.
Yeah, we didn't get too crazy. We had the 3-year-old, my wife were with us, so we didn't get too crazy. But man, we had a great time. It was a great week. We stayed at an awesome place, a fan's place that lived on the lake. It had an incredible pad. It was so fun.
Sweet. How was the flotilla?
It was awesome. Really good. A lot of cool guys that. I mean, people were asking if they were out there to try to poach my spots and they were locals or if they were fans and friends and stuff. But man, they were all like, it seemed like I knew almost everyone in the flotilla. They were all super respectful. You guys know as well as I do, like it's never a great thing to have extra boats out there around you as far as catching fish, but it didn't seem to affect it too much. So that was good. Everyone kept a distance for sure.
Yeah. The Bassmaster camera boat pulled up to me on the second day in the morning. I had like 2 bass at 11 or whatever. I was like, "What are you guys doing here? Like, go find Milliken. He's throwing a damn glide bait the size of my graph."
That's funny.
So they did.
Yeah, they were with me. They got some cool stuff on day 2 for sure. And then day 3 was pretty slow for me. I had to change it up a lot and be a little more conservative and boring. But it was awesome.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better that you didn't just mash 100 a day.
He's still at 20 pounds though, right? Like,
yeah, I had almost 21 and a half, almost 22, I think. But
yeah, that's still
I didn't catch one on a glide the last day. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was incredible, man. Lots of people up here definitely have taken note to you now. I've been getting lots of texts like, "Who is this guy?" And I'm sure you're following on online's boosting up too. Man, you're making a name for yourself. People like watching you. It's it's entertaining. It's not just the standard. The water rose, so I threw my crankbait. It sticks up on the shore there, and thank you Lord, and wham bam. Not your standard. You never really know what you're getting with you. Man, it's been fun to watch and fun to be a part of. We're kind of just a sideshow to it at this point in the season, but it's been pretty sweet to follow.
Yeah, it's been really incredible. Never could have expected it to start this well, and yeah, man, I try to keep it real. I'm a normal dude. I like to drink beer and say bad words, and you'll definitely get a lot of emotion in these videos from this tournament. I was fired up out there on the water for a lot of it once I started to see what was kind of coming together. After that first day, that first limit, I was definitely stressed. It's all I could think about was the classic and not to try to screw it up. But so I had that weighing on me, especially going the second day. But then things got moving on the second day. We had some fun out there. And once things kind of came together the third day, which started a lot slower, I got fired up too then. So we had some fun out there on the flotilla.
Yeah. Was that your it would have been around
No,
like
did
11 on the first morning. You caught a big one. Let out like a boom or a yeah or whatever. 11 o'clock on day one. Would that have been like your limit? Was that what started kicking her off? Because I was a few hundred yards away from you and I could hear it. I was like, uh-oh, if he's getting fired up in Texas, we're fucked.
I definitely had a limit before then, but I think I started to really put it together with that big bait. I know I can't remember where it was, probably that you would have been by me if it was on the south side of that area, the north side of that area. But yeah, definitely both. But yeah, man, I caught a couple. I caught my first spot of the first morning, didn't go well, didn't pan out at all my deep spot, and kind of switched gears and went up to some of those points, and I caught them 3 casts in a row on my Carolina rig, like a 6, 3, and a 4, I think, or maybe higher than a 4. And I was pumped, and it kind of slowed down, and then I pulled out the glide bait, and for the first time in all practice, I didn't catch a fish on a glide bait, barely had a bite or follow or anything on a glide in practice, wasn't even planning on throwing it. First cast with it, I caught one almost 8, and then a couple casts later, I caught one that was 7 something. And after that, man, I kind of saw what was happening. I was fired up.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
I knew you weren't catching them all on the glide because I saw Bubba in the back had a huge bag, so I was like, "Oh, he ain't glide baiting," So
yeah, I kind of made a strategic mistake by being too nice with that guy. He's a good dude, but yeah, he was. I told him to throw a Carolina rig. I was like, dude, this is I'm gonna catch him on a Carolina rig, so you have about as good a chance to catch him as I do back there, throwing across these points. And he was throwing a Zoom Lizard on it, and I had the limit was culling, and he hadn't caught one yet. And I kept showing the hog wallet, the 6 cents hog wallet of the camera that I was catching on. He's like, you think I could get one of those hog wallets from me? I was like, dude, absolutely. I don't want you to sit back there and not catch anything. So I think like first cast or one of the first casts with it, he catches a 6-pounder. And I was like, okay, you're on the board. And I think we kind of fished around, went to another spot. He caught a 3 something. And then towards the end of the day, went back and I wanted to upgrade. And he fired, and I had given him a whole pack of hog walls at that point because he was catching them. And he fired it back over that same point I started on, and he caught one that was like 6.5. And I was like, oh my God, could have used that one because I had like a 3.5 in my bag. But it is what it is. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's sweet when you're both catching them. Raises the mood.
Yeah, it does. It definitely helps things.
Huh.
Dude, Ozzy just got in from daycare, so he's all fired up.
Awesome.
Say what's up.
What's up, bud?
What's
you're scared
up,
to be on
bud?
camera? Say hello. Yep, not too talkative today, huh? I'll come talk to you in a little bit, okay? Go get mama. That's the baddest little dude on the planet right there. He is obsessed with fishing and has zero interest in catching the bluegill he started with. He only wants to catch big bass now, huh?
Uh-oh.
Does he throw the
Yeah,
15-inch glider too, or no?
He like I have a little Zepco 202 spin cast right now, and after he catches a couple on it, he just puts it down. He's like, I'll use Dada's pole now. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm done
No,
sharpening my
you're-
pencil.
yeah, exactly. You can't use the bait caster every time, Ozzy, but yeah, he enjoys it. He's obsessed.
That's awesome.
Man, I don't want to dig too deep into the fishing part, but it's you're a Texas hammer and got to shed like a little bit of light on it. It's so crazy that Carolina rigged brush hog, walla, whatever. It's like, how does that still play when that's what everyone is throwing? I literally caught one. I was catching them on it, and 2 days before the tournament, I caught one on it, and it spit out another brush hog. I was like, brush hogs are part of the diet here. I'm like, how am I going to compete throwing this? Like, I need to throw something else, and stuck with the football jig and got my ass kicked by the hog walla or hog or blizzard or whatever. Like, how is that?
Yeah, that'll happen down here, and I hate it. I was not a Carolina rig guy too much before I moved down here. I love to throw a swing head, drag finesse stuff, drag a jig, but they just eat it so much better down here. I don't know what it is about these Texas lakes and these Florida strains. They eat the Carolina rig, no matter what plastic you put on there. Even, I mean, that's the best way to throw a 10-inch worm down here, which is just, a Texas rig makes sense, right? That a Carolina rig is so much more effective in Texas. But
write that down, Brad.
Yeah, it just does. Yeah. It's weird, man. And I had one spit up a lizard too that I caught on a crank or crank down a swim bait, which is crazy.
Yeah, Zoom plastics are part of the ecosystem in Texas.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh man,
What?
go ahead, bud.
Oh, I got a question. I mean, what's the deal with the clay down there? I mean, I'm assuming you caught some on clay points. I haven't looked into it that much. That's where I got my few good fish I ended up catching. But what do they love about the clay down there so much?
Yeah, it's just the hardness of it. When I moved down here, I didn't really understand it because everyone would say, yeah, clay points, they're probably on a shad spawn, so check clay points, go to clay points. And I'm just like, clay points, okay, that makes sense. And I'd look at the bank in all these areas, and it's that red clay. And I'd try to do it like that, but really that's not what it is. But clay points form just from washing away from either waves or current. So the more main lake, the more hit by current or waves that a spot can be, the more the bottom will wash away and erode over time. And so a lot of the clay point areas are on the main lake points. They're on the areas where the old river channel used to hit the area, or they can just get blasted by a north or a south wind at a lot of these lakes like Toledo or Rayburn. And it simply is just the hard bottom, and it's about impossible to you can't see it just by looking at the bank. I think half the sharper broken off banks or more that you see at Toledo are that red clay looking stuff, and that doesn't mean anything. So it's definitely by feel and maybe even a little bit by Google Maps.
Yeah, what I thought I'd found like a shell bar, and then when I started catching them the day of the tournament, I noticed the clay on my weight. I'm like, wow, this is weird. And it kind of drags, like when you're dragging the Carolina rig over, it's like you're dragging it over gravel, but it's coming up with clay. So it was a new experience for a Minnesota kid, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, me too. As a northern guy, that's not something I'm used to, but they're there for the exact same reason that they get on a gravel bar or they get on a shell bar. It's not like they're down there eating the shells. They're there for that hardness and whatever wants to live around it. I don't know why bass like hard spots, but they do, and that's what I caught all mine on.
Nice. I wish we had this podcast before the tournament so I'd know more about it.
Easy,
so
right?
I told him in the morning he was doing his tournament video and talking to the camera. I was parked beside him, and he's talking to Cole and was like, yeah, you guys watched the practice video. And I was like, shit, did I miss a practice? He put up a pre-tournament practice video and I glued in. I was like,
I better go watch that one.
Video, you idiot.
That's funny, yeah. The crazy thing is, like, we could go back to Toledo next year, same exact time, and it won't play at all. Like, you guys know how it is. As soon as you learn something, it changes.
Yeah,
that's what's cool about something like this, where, you just have an event where it all kind of comes together, all the stars kind of align, and was able to put them on them like that.
So you've been crafting your art, I would say. You kind of remind me of Gussie, like, and Bruce with this moping deal. And you've been crafting this big glide bait or big bait art. I would have to say you're one of the best in the world with it right now. How rewarding is that you get to use it in a tournament? It actually works for, gets you over the hump to get the win. That has to be just unbelievable.
Yeah, super rewarding. But like I've said many times in these podcasts I've done, I really do not care how I catch them. And I treat every cast as an experiment with these baits. I do not have an ego about what I throw. I know I was out there and I knew everyone that was on Bassmaster, everyone that was following the tournament, everyone on the spectator boats, the Bassmaster film crew, my camera guy, they all want to see me throwing a 10 to 15 inch glide bait to catch these fish. But I still was just going to throw what they want. And I use forward-facing sonar and read the fish. And I have I just don't have an ego about what I'm going to go throw. I have no problem catching them on a Ned rig or a 12-inch glide bait, whatever. But to really develop that craft and perfect it, not perfect it, but work on it so hard at so many of these different lakes down here the last several years, and then being able to apply that was pretty special.
That makes you really damn dangerous that you can pick up a Ned head and a glide bait. I'll tell you that right now. Like, most of the guys that are good at fishing big baits, I mean, they live and die by it. You see it all the time. And yeah, I mean, you're doing it right. There's no doubt about that.
I told you you'd be changing your tune about him, Brad.
I changed my tune after we talked to him the first night. Christ, I'm not the one chirping him out in the lake. That was you, Brucey.
Yeah. Hopefully he knows I'm joking. I mean, there's very few people on, like, you know, up at home. I love bullshitting with buddies and messing with them on the water and whatever. And I fired a few chirps at you, like, get off my program and
oh yeah,
and
no,
whatever else.
I understood,
hopefully
man.
You can, yeah.
It's
hopefully you didn't think I was
it
serious
was
for
fun.
a second.
No,
I think I told you at
all
one
good.
point that I should have taken my wrap off for the tournament. I was hoping there'd be like a spectator around thinking I was serious, but
yeah, that would have been fantastic. I would have been like, "Who is this guy? I don't know, guys. Go crowd him or something."
Yeah, man.
Boy.
What in the
Oh
world?
God!
Hey, what's going
What's
on
up,
here?
Daddy?
Are you guys doing
We're
a
just
Bass
doing a
Fishing
show,
Talk
Pat.
right now? Hey,
Yep.
Ben Milliken.
Are you just
can
waking
hear
up,
me?
getting some morning coffee, or what?
I am driving to South Carolina to the Lake Murray Elite event, and I've been coffeeed up all dang day. Actually.
Pat, don't take this the wrong way, but you look like Jim Leahy right now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, my hair is exceptionally wavy today. It's the humidity. Yeah. And but the thing about the difference between me and Leahy is what does he say? The liquor what? What's Leahy say? The liquor what? Jamie?
I am the liquor.
I am the liquor. Well, shoot. Holy cow, guys. This is bad right
Between
now.
the lines there, partner.
Yeah, I just, yeah. Uh-oh. Well, I just Leahy'd the heck out of this. I have this on a stand in my truck, and I'm going through the mountains, so this is not the safest thing in the world, but it's working right now. Can you guys still hear me and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ben, congratulations, dude. All kidding aside, thank you for freaking showing the world that YouTubers can win some derbs, right? Right? Come on.
That's right, Pat. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you did a great job, Ben. I got a couple questions for you. Are you ready?
Let's hear them.
Did you use the periscope?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite color periscope?
Amber periscopes.
Amber. Did you ever date a girl named Amber anytime in your life?
No, actually.
Okay.
Somehow.
Well, you're doing okay. You're doing good there. What is Ozzy's favorite spinner bait to throw?
Oh, I don't let him throw spinner baits.
You don't
but
only
he
you're
does.
only letting him just the big bait?
Oh no, his deal right now is a 6-inch shaky worm, and he fishes it weightless, and it just slowly waves down. He thinks it's a little bit more natural than a Senko. He said because everyone's throwing a Senko around the pond, so he wants to throw that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so he's showing him something a little bit different. In other words.
That's right.
Nice. Hey, what did Oz say when you won the derb? Does he realize that you won?
I don't think he knows much other than he just wants to fish and maybe also eat some candy or something. That's about all he lives for is eating food he shouldn't and fishing.
I'm
like
a bigger
all of us.
fan of Ozzy. Yeah, Exactly. Like all of us. Exactly. I'm actually a bigger fan of Ozzy Milliken than Ben Milliken.
Well, that's because you guys have the same color hair and the same length.
Same candy.
And we're all Odin's son.
Yeah.
We're 100%. We're all Odin's sons. Right there. Hey, Jamie Bruce.
What's up, pal?
Am I on a horrible delay? Is this a horrible delay or something?
No, you're not bad.
Oh, because it takes a long time for you guys to respond to me.
You're hard to respond to, Pat. Sometimes you just completely threw off the entire show.
That was the intention. Hey, Brad.
Yo.
So, Brad, do you know that my phone has been ringing nonstop? Do you know why? Bradley.
People trying to tell you that the tournament's canceled so you don't show up?
You lost your wallet.
No, because remember when you were at Omnia fishing today?
Yeah.
Okay. And the guys were recording me on the phone.
Yeah,
well,
I remember that.
Put my phone number on the internet. And literally, yeah. So I put DND on my phone just so I could call in to congratulate Ben Milliken, because literally, so I put it up on the Straight Cast story because I'm a dummy and I didn't know. And then all of a sudden I get a phone call. Hey, your phone number's on the story. I'm like, oh, no wonder. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 literally just blowing TF up. And
did you get any dates out of it?
No.
Yeah, was it like Stray Cast groupies or what?
Yeah, it's all dudes, bud.
Friends of the road.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Kentucky, who's this? Oh, Arizona, who's this? Oh, Georgia, who's this? Oh, Tennessee, who's this? Unreal. So, hey.
You probably deserve that for hanging up on us like you did, you know?
Well, you fell for it. You guys fell for it.
I fall for it every time. Do it again. Try it one more time. Do it right now.
Hey, Ben, I'm not gonna throw a monkey wrench in this show. As Jamie Bruce would say, get off my program. And I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of the show. And Ben, seriously, congratulations. I more victories, bud. More victories. You're going to the Bassmaster Classic. Benny, you're going to the Classic.
Crazy. Thank you so much, Pat. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, it's all good. Guys, have fun, and thanks for doing such a good job on Into the Great Wide Opens. It's a cool show. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you for the opportunity, Pat.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have fun being opens, guys. EQ qualifiers.
Keep her between the lines, bud. See you soon.
Don't crash, Pat.
Leahy!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Fine words from a wise man. That was Pat Renwick. Huh. Well, that just happened.
I mean, that did happen. I had to
we'll just let anybody call in.
Classic. Yeah, they let anyone call in. I had to babysit him at the Classic this year. I was kind of hoping you could next year, Ben, but you'll be fishing it, so that's not going to work. But
sorry about that.
Maybe the next year. Yeah, I mean,
well, hopefully I don't get him as like a marshal or something. Oh
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Well, I felt bad for Paul and Nick.
No, he knows. He knows. He can shut her off too, I think. I mean, was he with
Palaniuk at Tennessee at the Classic in Knoxville?
No, I think
he was at. Yeah, he was with them earlier this year when he was with Klun and those other guys. And
in Florida.
He had to be quiet with Klun, so he had like all this built up energy for Palaniuk, and he was just, it was crazy.
Man, I was pre-fishing with that Australian kid this week, and we kept seeing Logan Parks has the big Bass Pro logo on his boat, and I kept telling the kid it was Clun. I was like, "Oh, dude, that's Clun. That's Clun." He's like, "Really? Really?" I was like, "No, Clun's not here." And then sure as shit, there's Clun on day one.
That's so funny. I didn't realize he was either until the end of the tournament. I looked at the results.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I love having the elite legends in the mix. Doesn't it just make it like, I don't know. I like it. Even though, even if you end up below them all, there's no other sport where you can just throw your money in and, like I said, go face off against Gretzky. Like that doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a crazy dynamic.
Yeah, I like those guys a lot better than locals, I feel like it's cooler fishing against them than the locals.
Well, yeah, I know that well, the nice thing about this tournament, I know a lot of the Texas locals stayed out of this tournament because they didn't want to either not guide for the 27 days or not fish tournaments the previous 3 weekends. So that was nice.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, it's the local thing is, with the cutoff now, like there's a whole new dynamic to that too, because the co-angler thing, like the co-angler numbers are close to being in half, and your chances of drawing a good local co-angler are almost gone. It's it's wild, and man, like I've been keeping tabs and like trying to keep a cool head about it, but I've had 4 co-anglers this year.
Wow, that's surprising. So every day
you're winning, Bruce. You're winning, Brucey.
Everyone I know has 2. There's a couple that have had 3. Maybe there's a couple more with 4, but I'm like, this is it's something that it's undoubtedly gonna affect the outcome of the season for better or for worse for everyone. So hopefully,
it's too bad. It's kind of weird that it's still a thing. I feel like it's not going to be for much longer. The more they keep changing rules and making it more like the elites.
Yeah. And I don't mind if it's a thing, as long as it's a thing for everyone, Right. It's just who knows? There's got to be a way to like balance it. And I guess that's why they have the angler relations, whatever. Should probably draft up an email at some point here. I do have those 2 extra seats in the back of my lawn, so I might get 3 one day.
There you go.
I think it's all your guiding experience, Brucey, and everyone wants a shore lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Taters, beans, spotted bass. Yeah.
Hey, rules question for you guys. I was thinking about it now that we're talking about the co-anglers. So is it like the Elite Series where if you break down, obviously a competitor is the only one that can take you and your fish in. Can you fish with them like you can in the Elite Series?
No, you're done.
Okay.
The second I had this happen last year, I broke down on a buddy who was creaming him, and the second he decided to come pick me up, we were both done. So.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how they do it though. How do you do it with your fish? Because if you have he has a the live wells are full, right?
There's wording to like keep them in a bag. I'm assuming you keep a mesh bag in your boat.
Yeah.
Well, I know Castledine broke down the last day way down the lake, and his marshal said they got another boat and he fished the rest of the day. So I don't
really.
How do you get back? That's what I understand from what he said. I don't understand. So you can only get back from a non-competitor by getting towed, right? Like a spectator boat can't give you a ride with your fish unless it's an emergency and your fish don't count, I think. But
yeah, my understanding was,
I don't know.
I flung an ear last year and I had to take my boat out to get a new prop put on. And if you do that, you forfeit your fish and you can start over. So I don't know if that plays into it or how that works, but.
Yeah, maybe you got to ride back and you didn't have any fish and you just started the new day then.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you learn something every day. There's always something going on.
You got Wheeler's number, he'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
He reads between the lines for all of them. I pride myself on being the rules guy for the house, but yeah, overall, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Not that good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, bud. What?
Thanks,
man.
dude.
I know it's been a. Oh,
He's back.
Look at that service with a smile. He's back with a beer this time.
God.
Thanks, dude.
You got that kid trained well, bud. Like, congrats.
Yeah, come.
Like, that's some good.
Come hang out with him for a couple hours. We'll see. He listened once, so.
Yeah, he just spit it out and asked for a lager instead. What is this? Pale ale?
Exactly. Exactly.
Does he do like, so my buddy was watching, one of the buddies in our house, a better buddy of Brucey's, but his little kid and him were watching the classic, and they watched Matt come on stage and crush those beer or water bottles, right? And the 1-year-old walks in the other room and does the same thing with his bottles and then throws them on the floor. You got anything of that going on around there or no?
No, I like that though. That's definitely something we can train on for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's legit. Like, that kid was paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ozzy could be a professional fisherman. That kid could be a pro wrestler in his future for sure.
Yeah.
He's a showman.
Sure. Showman.
And maybe that's what Maddie will be too eventually. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I think he should get a reality TV show. Like, I think he's missing his calling, really. Like, he's pretty good at bass fishing. Yeah, he's pretty good at bass fishing, really good at it, but I think reality TV is the way to go for him.
Did I get the nod on the house, Brad?
The nod?
Yeah, do I get to come watch you and Maddie in your natural element?
Oh, yeah, you're coming to live in the trailer. The place is mint, dude.
Mint.
You got to bring a gun with, though. I mean,
I don't have one of those.
Yourself. Oh, you can't? You're from Canada. Christ, you guys can't even look at a gun. Do you even know how to hold one?
I fight with my words, boy.
Oh, God.
All kidding aside, and man, you've been having a dream season. Obviously, you're tied for first in AOI. Unreal. But what? And I know there had to have been some challenges along the way. What's been the hardest part so far?
I mean, it's gone so well from the start. It's hard to say. I haven't had a lot of super challenging things. The third day of this open was a challenge for me mentally for at least the first half of the day. We had some weather roll in. There's like 400 boats worth of local tournament boats out there Saturday, and went to the first couple spots. Nothing. I caught a couple that were like a pound, which I hadn't caught one that small all week. Somehow they just showed up. And then all of a sudden the wind kicks up to like 25 straight into my area. There's like 4-footers rolling in. And so I could only fish like 1 or 2 points out of the wind a little bit, enough to hold myself with the trolling motor. And those points, there was a point on the main lake blowing mud onto it. And so they're starting to get muddy. And I was just like, this cannot be happening. This is wild. But kind of just stayed the course. The wind blew through, kind of slicked off a little bit, and I just gradually grinded through it. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some demons in my head for a couple hours there that last day. Like, all you have to do is catch like 10, 11 pounds, and it's over. But they made me work for them for a little bit, for sure.
Yeah. Have you had any like practice days where you're like, what am I doing here? Or, like, has it crept in there? Because I know like those long, some of those 3 or 4 hour spells where you don't get a bite or like that happens lots in the South. It doesn't happen up north. Those kind of come creeping in hard for me. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with that yet.
Yeah, I definitely practice with a purpose. So I've stayed locked in. I felt like the practices have gone really well for me. And I don't really fish for bites very much in practice either. But not these first 2 events anyway. I think there's going to be some on the schedule where you're not going to be able to find them with the graphs and know what's going on with electronics. But the third day of practice at Toledo, my stupid ass blasted a buoy in the boat lane and blew my lower unit. And so it was the whole nose cone was gone. And so the Mercury service dude told me that he's like, no, it's good. I didn't realize it actually till the fourth day. I had run like 50 miles on it by then. So I got off the water early the fourth day, and I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, there's actually something wrong with it. I figured if something was wrong with it, the alarm would have come on that overheated. But yeah, so I showed it to him. He's like, honestly, you're good. Probably. It's just going to have high water pressure. And I was like, well, I'm on some fish. And so I don't want to risk getting back in. And so I just got a new one. So now I got a spare. But yeah, I didn't practice the whole last day, that last half day, and then half of the fourth day. So that was probably the most adversity I've gone through in practice for sure.
Did you run at high speed or no?
Yeah, I ran at wide open for a long ways.
I did the same thing down in the James last year. I put a big hole in my nose cone, and it would all of a sudden just step out. Like you'd be running like high end, and all of a sudden you just shoot off to the right like crazy.
All the whole story.
Oh God!
How'd you hit it?
How did I hit it?
Yeah, what happened?
It was championship Saturday. I was going into a creek too hot. Same stump I hit like 4 times already. And my marshal's like, from down there, he's like, I knew you were going to hit it, but I couldn't tell you because we can't help you. I'm like, I think you can help me avoid disaster. But
that's the man we need, willing to die for the rules.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
The one good thing was I looked back behind me. I hit it going like 50. I was looking at my graph and I kind of got sent by a wave funny and did one of these last second, couldn't decide which way to go and figured it'd be fine. So I just went right over it. But I looked back and that buoy was freaking powder back there. So that was awesome. That made me feel a lot better.
You put any marks in the boat or how'd that go?
No, it hit the rub rail on the front, but the lower unit wore it good.
That place, me and Brucey were kind of talking about it. That's a crazy place. Like, you see a place you want to go fish, and it's like, do you risk it and run in there, or do you idle? And then even after you idle a path in there and you run over a few stumps or whatever in the way, it's like it's really hard getting around that place.
You can't panic fish there. There's no good panic run.
Yeah, and we got lucky actually that it was the water level it was, because if it was 2 feet lower like it generally has been, well, that's you can hit them in the boat lane then. Like it's crazy. You're right, man. It can take an hour to idle in somewhere that you want to go.
Yeah. No, I had a couple people from back home. They're like, you didn't get your limit the second day. I was like, dude, I'm lucky to be walking out of here with my life and no insurance claim. You go to a place like
yes,
that,
you are.
and it really wasn't windy for competition. I couldn't imagine that. You'd need a snorkel and goggles to cross those frickin' running lanes that run right across the pond. Like, those are insane.
When we left, we stayed the night Saturday night. We left Sunday and the north wind kicked up. We went over the bridge and there was legit 5-footers at 9 o'clock in the morning rolling down the lake. So we got lucky. We got there when we did. There was not really any weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
That changes that place.
Oh, I believe that. All that rain before it, but all right, man. Sweet. Well, Bugs Island next. Preview? Anyone know anything about that damn place? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be late? Like, what are we thinking here, fellas?
Yeah, it's going to be a good tournament. It sounds like I've looked into it a lot. It looks like a really good lake. Really interesting lake. Everyone I've talked to and all the research I've done, people are like, you're either going to love it and never want to leave or hate it. It sounds like it's a huge transition right now with spawning fish and pre-spawn, post-spawners. We'll see where they're at by the time we get there. The waters come up. I guess they bring the water up every year because the stripers spawn, and so there has to be current for that. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of things, I think, with the water being up, if they're going to draw it down at all. There's going to be consistent current. There's going to be spawners, post spawners, maybe pre-spawners. I know there's bluebacks, alewives, American shad, threadfin shad, gizzard shad. Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's some minners.
A lot of manners.
Man, I'll tell you, too, I tried to do a little recon for it, and like, it really makes you appreciate a good YouTube channel when you got to pane through YouTube videos on these places.
Definitely. Definitely, man.
No, not throwing any shade at the Bugs Island Bass Society or whatever these guys are putting up videos. But like, if I wasn't going there to fish for my damn life, not a chance. I wouldn't be able to find the remote fast enough. So props again for running a quality YouTube channel.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Okay. Well, sweet. I have no doubt that you're going to make the right adjustments. And I sent you a text and told you I talked to Mercer the other day a little bit. Your name came up. And I said, you were the only person that I'd be surprised if you didn't make the Elite Series. And that's a tall statement, not trying to put any pressure on you. But I just know you've got, you're smart enough. You got enough time on the water and you've got a proven resilience. So congratulations, man. And looking forward to touring around with you the rest of the year, bud. I'm definitely going to keep chirping you on the water, though, any chance I get.
So please do that. I really appreciate that, man. That's really nice of you to say that, especially as someone I'm competing against. You guys have been awesome. It's been awesome seeing you out there too, and being super respectful. All the stuff I was fishing, and I look forward to it. It's going to be a long grind ahead of us. Seven more of these. We're just getting started.
7 more.
Yeah, bud.
No doubt.
That's only about 35 podcasts away for you.
I'd be okay with 35, man. That sounds great.
35. Is it going to be more?
I just mean like throughout the 7, maybe.
No, like podcasts or place.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I just mean
you're
like
35 podcasts away from Bugs Island, meaning you're going to have 35.
Oh, away from Bugs Island. Yeah, shoot. No, I'm glad I don't have 35 lined up for Bugs Island, but I'd be happy if I only had 35 more the rest of the year. I enjoy doing them all.
I was taking it the wrong way. I thought he was going to win them all, and he had 35 more to do. Shoot.
I don't know.
Easy enough, right?
Thing to say. I just meant he's got a bunch of podcasts. You're a popular guy. Everyone's going to get to know you this year, and yeah, it's been fun, man. It's a good ride. I said it about Gussie too. I love watching the sport grow. There's really only a few ambassadors that I kind of want to succeed to keep carrying the sport. Gussie's one, you're one, and keep it up, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, bud.
Yeah, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you. Oh, there he goes. He gone. He gone.
What do you figure, pal?
I think it's almost time to bring Tuma in.
What?
Is he still here?
Has he been sitting here the whole time?
I don't know. Who knows? Only Ginge would know this.
Yeah, we're in no rush, bud. We got lots to talk about.
Yeah, we do. I mean, he can come in anytime, no doubt. What's you get your wheel bearing fixed?
No, I'm waiting on parts, and it's yeah. Sometimes I wonder why I do all my own shit. I do it because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not like these kids with dad's credit card, and I can do all my own stuff. And then I get in there, and I'm like, oh, I should have just paid for this.
Dude, though that grease, I don't know if Lunds do it, but like in the Camus, like the grease, the wheel bearing grease, it's a special grease. You have to like take a bath in turpentine to get it off you. Like I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, well, it's made so water doesn't wash it away. So when you're washing your hands, it doesn't wash it away, because when the water seeps into your bearings, like at boat ramps and everything, it can resist it. So, but I mean, yeah, that's definitely something you want to know how to do yourself.
Absolutely.
I got 50,000 miles on my truck, and it's 13 months old. So you better be good at the road. Actually, Devin Devin hooked me up with a trick. We got to try those temperature guns like that people use for watching heat loss and checking their fish fry oil and stuff like that. He said keep it in the side door of your truck, and every time you get out and get gas, instead of putting your hand on the wheel bearing, use that temp gun and just hit it with every one, and then you know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, that's a good idea. A buddy of mine has a new truck, and it actually tells him on the trailer tire temp, tire pressure, temp, everything. Maybe you have that on your truck, you just don't know how to read it.
Well, there's no way my trailer's going to have that kind of information loaded up.
He has a Ranger boat. I don't know how it does it on there. It does it with every trailer. I don't know how it does it.
That probably just makes it up.
Probably. I just look for grease flying over the top of the boat, and if I see grease coming, then I get concerned.
Yeah, if your hub is red in the night and your looks like the 4th of July coming out of your wheel, there's an issue.
No doubt. I mean, I got an extra grease buddy in my boat now, so if you ever have an issue.
We do have Keith here.
Oh, nice. We can bring him in.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys.
Whoa, there's Keith.
Happiest man in bass fishing, baby.
What's that?
Yeah. Said you're the happiest man in bass fishing. We're glad to have you on, partner.
Well, thanks for having me. I certainly appreciate the invite. Is there too much light coming from over my shoulder?
No, you're
no,
good.
You look like God. I don't know if that matters. You look like an angel. Where are you at, Keith?
Got to watch the last little bit of you guys talking with Mr. Milliken, and that was pretty cool. I got a kick out of him smoking the buoy. That was a fun story.
I don't know if I'd tell people that story, right? I'd be like, God dang, I hit a stump.
Right. It's more entertaining to actually run over buoys, though.
Yeah, I hit a buoy there idling one day. I was looking at my phone, respond to texting, and all of a sudden, whack. I'm like, what the hell? So it is dangerous to text and boat too, I guess.
True story.
I hit my practice partner's rods off one of those running lanes.
Good.
All those rod tips just whack.
You guys are hard on stuff. I was doing the slalom thing in and out of them. That was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you're supposed to do it? Were you the guy? So I had a guy one day in practice. I don't think it was you. I was running one of those lanes across the lake, like those little lanes.
The east-west
It's kind of windy. And the guy's on the wrong side. Like, I'm on the right side. He's supposed to be on the left side. And he's, like, coming at me for, like, a mile. I'm like, you don't want to veer very far off those lanes. No. You're seeing standing timber out there. I'm like,
and you don't want to jump into the lane he's supposed to be on.
Correct.
No, you make the
back in.
Yeah, like I didn't know what to do. I missed him by like 5 inches. I just held my course.
Stayed the course.
Yeah. And then I'm like, what the hell? And he looks at me like, what the hell? Like he thought I was in the wrong. I'm like,
unreal.
Really? What the hell?
No, I ran him just like you're driving a freaking on a road, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Keep the dang buoys to the left-hand side.
Yeah, till Bubba comes flying down the lane with a pontoon boat with a 150 on it, 16 bush lights deep, and a brush pile loaded up, ready to make some crappies.
You gotta kind of forgive him if he's drinking beer.
Hey, I forgot to ask Milliken if that was his buddies putting out brush piles.
Oh, he'd be pissed at you, Brad. He already knows you've been throwing shade at him all year.
No, I'm just kidding. The guy's a champion. That's just fun in him a little.
Did you guys see that tune on day 3? Running brush piles around? Or was it day 2?
No.
Doesn't matter.
We don't get to see day 3.
We didn't fish day 3.
Sorry. Must have been day 2 is what I meant. There was a guy running brush piles around.
Yeah, we saw a couple of them throughout the week. The boys, I don't know why you'd need to add brush to a lake like that. It's already endless, but maybe the crappies.
They put it close to their cabin so they don't have to drive very far. Like,
there you go. Yeah, from what I understand, it's the crappie guides and whatnot that are throwing those out.
Right. Well, we haven't given you a proper introduction yet.
Oh, shoot. I'll shut up and let you guys do your thing.
Is this the first time on the Straight Cast show?
It is.
on the great. Well, I guess there was Great Wide Opens, but
Great Wide Opens.
I think I heard you on Low Budget Live before, or some other podcasts. But yeah, I think the first time
I'll just bite
here,
my tongue.
You weren't on that?
I don't know about Low Budget Live.
Didn't I hear you on that?
I don't.
What is Low Budget Live, Brucey? I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's another Canadian one, eh?
Oh, it's like the big. Okay, never mind. Fuck you guys. Keith Tuma is in 10th place in the Bassmaster EQ. 2 really stout finishes. Fished the Classic.
Bassmaster Classic fisherman a couple of years ago. Bassmaster Open winner a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and you're starting off with a vengeance, bud.
No doubt.
It feels like I've just got lucky. I consider it.
I don't think you can get lucky against 225.
There's
probably you can get a little luck, but
there's some truth to that.
I feel like every day I go out, I'm one bass short of 170th place. That's how I felt.
Dude.
I'm like, oh God, I'm so close to being 170, 180th. Like,
yeah, Toledo was like you're one bite away from 200th, and you're one bite away from 8th. It's a wild place.
Until Tuesday on Toledo, my practice was not that great on Toledo. So, I mean, I was finding the heck out of the males, you know, the 1.5 pound all the way to maybe 3 pounders.
Yeah.
And then it turned around a little bit.
So what
you like being offshore, hey? That's kind of your jam by the sounds of it.
Well,
I know
that's what I was doing, just because I figured the super shallow stuff would not hold, but apparently
Brad
it did.
caught them all.
I didn't even fish shallow the whole time. Brucey gave me such a hard time in Eufaula that I stayed out deep the whole time.
Did you?
And it still sucked.
Yeah. Well, I had to go shallow with you at Eufaula. I had no live scope.
Oh man!
Now you better get your ass off the bank.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I mean, the more I dig into, I mean, I don't want to give out any secrets, but
there's no secrets.
It's going to be really hard to make the Bassmaster elites being a shallow fisherman. Like, I think damn near impossible, but I could be wrong.
I think there's going to be a time and a place where the shallow bite's gonna take over and do it. It might not be for the rest of the tournaments, but there's going to be 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I don't think you can fish 9 of these tournaments in 40 feet of water or less. And
probably,
not. There's some crazy good fishermen out there, no doubt about it. I'm just saying from a pressure aspect, because it's every local on the lake fishes shallow. Every competitor spends time up shallow. I mean, it's crazy. No one understands the pressure these lakes get day in, day out.
But they keep kicking fish up too.
Yeah, I mean, they're good fisheries because you can keep catching them. I mean, if it was Leech Lake and it had that much pressure, you'd never catch another bass on it, right? Like,
that's what I said about Lake of the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a northern guy. You've done how many opens have you done? Like 7 or 8 now?
I think this last one was number 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still on the curve. Yeah.
I'm a rookie.
You've already got a win, a classic berth, and 2 really good finishes this year, man. It's got to feel good.
It does. It really does. It's hard to be disappointed or feel disappointed, but Toledo, I definitely rode the coattails of that big day 1 bag for sure. Back to that one. I mean, I was saying Tuesday on practice, I had a pretty good day and figured some stuff out. But I think Tuesday, Wednesday, them big females were up doing their thing, and then I want to say Thursday, probably by the end of the day, they were starting to slide back out. So,
you were catching those deep bedders, hey, or what we thought were bedders.
I swear to God, they're bedders out there. I really do. I would say in that 11 to 15 foot range, yeah, which is a lot of territory.
One jumbo on a leaning stump on a hard spot.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. I just didn't catch as many of them as you did. But when I heard your interview and you said you're like, I swear they're betters, I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to sound like an idiot and say the same thing.
I got no fear.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there.
Well, you backed it up. You can say whatever you want.
When they come up and their tails are just thrashed and they look like they've been in 3 feet of water or 2 feet of water, just getting the tar beat out of them. I mean, but they haven't been there because that stuff's not around for miles. I mean, they're largemouth. They're not going to swim that dang far, but or at least in that short amount of time. But yeah, I know for a fact they're bedding out there. I jumped off stage after day 3 and a local fella, he goes, "You were right. They bed out there." It's like, oh, all right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
ooh, that's close. Is that information, Brucey? You're the rules guy.
There's rules on this?
Well, no, like,
yeah, I don't know. No, he's good.
No, this was Saturday after the frickin' tournament.
After. Okay,
Brad,
I thought it was.
Brad's Aaron Bronkovich now just wants to DQ everyone.
No, I would never want DQ Keith. He's awesome.
No, I was up on stage on Saturday just chirping, I didn't have any fish to weigh in. Mm-hmm. And when I walked off the stage, a local fella said to me at that point, they bed out there.
Oh, yeah,
that
cool.
makes sense.
So
that's cool.
Jamie, you stumbled on it.
You're all
good.
Not an idiot. Brucey gave you a pass. He's our resident cop, so.
Okay. Well, he's up in Canada, so it's kind of a long drive to get down here and arrest me.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it. Probably he might.
That's not a thing. What do you figure, Brad? Why hasn't Keith come around? We got all the rest of the northern crew. We tried to rope you in, bud. Are you sticking to yourself? Are you traveling with someone? What's going on here? You just kind of like a lone wolf on the road?
I was 100% doing the lone wolf thing. And then I met some fellas when we were on Eufaula and just pulled up by this one fella, and we're talking at the dock before blast off on day 1. And turns out, of all the guys that he had talked to and that I had talked to, we were wanting to start on the same spot. And it's like, what are the freaking odds? But anyway, so we split it, or didn't split it. He started one side, I started another side. A different dude rolled into the center, and we watched an absolute clinic get put on. So we were kind of, we were each going to start on opposing sides and work our way towards it. Yeah, that was a bad move. But anyway, Derek got on it, and I think he ended up putting 17 and change day 1 on the scales out of that spot.
Wow.
And I went somewhere else and continued to ride the struggle bus. But then day 2, we had a bad boat draw, not bad, but a later boat flight. And there was 2 fellas sitting on it. I mean, the same 2 guys that were there the first morning. Well, there was the one guy and then the other guy, and you could have stepped across their boats. It was the craziest thing, and they're both casting pretty much the same direction. So anyway, I went and did my own thing, and Derek hung out there, and I think he had 13 and change for, he got a top 40 out of it, which was really cool. Anyway, so long story short,
you lost me there.
Yeah, I'm like,
I asked
where's
who
the
you're
point?
staying with, and
I just tell stories. Anyway. So yeah,
that's why we love
in between then and now they invited me to stay with them. So yeah, I'm running with a few guys.
Well, give them a shout out. Who are they?
Well, you got Paul,
Derek,
Lance, and Derek.
Okay.
And if I was really, really good with their last names, I know Lance Owen, Paul Tesbiz. I'm butchering the hell out of that, and then Derek Lightning or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's from
South Carolina. Two of the guys, Lance and Derek, and then Michigan for Paul. Yeah. Paul's the dude with the big gold chain.
Okay.
And the curly mustache.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
recognize
you ditched us for those guys? You ditched us for
You never gave me an
Southerners?
invite. Hell, you just wanted to make me drink
Yeah.
Bush lattes before the weird stuff came out.
I sent you like 12 messages. Finally, to get his number, Brucey, I had to message one of his buddies in Minnesota. I mean, I messaged him on Instagram, Facebook. I'm like, he must hate us. So
No,
I'm like,
it's
finally,
not
I reached out to one of his buddies, and he's like, gave me his cell phone number. So
I have had.
But
Before Toledo Bend, I spent a week on Eufaula. You were there as well, you know. And the place I was staying at, zero internet, zero signal, and zero. Well, we had 3 TV channels, and they were all PBS. It was pretty spectacular.
Nice.
Did you have a gun though? I felt out of place in Oklahoma. I didn't have a gun. Like next time I go there, I'm bringing a gun.
I can't disclose that.
He's got a gun. I'm
He
the only
has
guy.
a gun. I love it.
Uh,
I'm getting one just because everyone down there has a gun on his side and they look cool.
Yeah.
They fucking. You could shoot snakes. Like I would love. Like we're getting into the warmer parts of our season, and I hate snakes. So.
Oh, there was a scorpion in the house we were staying at.
Oh my God! No.
Yeah, I jumped out of the
thank you.
shower and looked down on the ground, and here comes a little baby scorpion, which those are the most venomous, they say.
Oh,
that was fun. A wad of toilet paper, and he went for a swim.
See, that's a good thing you don't have a gun, Brad. You would have emptied your clip into the damn linoleum and 3/8 USB and been damn near halfway to China.
We would have got it.
In the nicest places there.
I don't think anyone understands the adventures we go on. Like, I mean, that's part of it. Like, it's
we
crazy.
see some stuff,
like,
don't we?
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't see that in the north very often, right? Like,
No.
I mean, we stayed in a place that was beautiful down on Toledo, but didn't have Wi-Fi. Like, how many places have you been to without Wi-Fi in the last 5 years?
At least one.
2 in a row. The Oklahoma place and the Toledo place. Nothing.
I liked it. It was sweet. It was on a ramp. I feel like I became part of the swamp at the last one because
Did you?
It was just you get there. We had a boat ramp on the property. Had some really good like co-angler travel partners that would like take an off day and go get groceries and stuff.
Oh,
and,
no
like,
kidding. That's fantastic.
I was going primal.
You'd hear
like,
Troy Landry say, "Shoot him, Elizabeth."
Yeah. I feel like
every
without a gun, I just got my big push pole and I just like Spike Lee that push pole around. You know,
every time I walk out at night or in the morning to my boat and it's dark out, or you go outside to pee or something, you forget that something could bite you that would be really bad down there, right? Like
an Australian co-angler.
Like
This place you were staying at had no Wi-Fi and no indoor plumbing, or what?
wow, we only had 2 bathrooms and we had an Australian and a couple older gentlemen. I mean, they were pretty used up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we had it was like the co-angler refuge. There were 3 pros and 5 co-anglers at this house.
Dang.
Yeah, it was like we almost needed a separate hatch to hide the co-anglers like from danger.
That's fantastic.
That's
why I get so many co-anglers on tour because they know we treat them well. So I think that's why I keep getting one every single day. How many have you had?
How many co's?
Yeah, out of the 4 days.
What 4? Oh, you're talking
the 4 regular tournament days, not
2 on Eufaula.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's his accent. I had one down on Eufaula day 2, and then I had one day 2. Well, I had your co-angler Brad from day 1.
Yep.
Yeah, so 2.
Brucey's still winning.
No co's.
4 co's.
4 co's.
4
Dang
co's.
it, dude.
That's what I said.
That's all right.
Don't get him going on it. Don't get him going on it.
Are you an awesome guide?
Yeah, I got 3 extra seats in my boat. So
no, are you putting them on fish? That's what I'm asking.
No, just usually just one that I need every day. That's like in a real obvious spot. That's about it.
Okay,
But
well,
no, they're not crushing them.
that's generous of you.
But you know how it is. Like, man, some of these, like, I can barely find enough for myself. Can't be
Right.
I mean, and lots of times they catch them that are just like, they're, you can be like, my co-angler got a 4-pounder, but lots of the times they're just like random ass casts that you never would have made on a bait you never would have used, but every once in a while they are.
You could have had the co-angler that had 19 pounds after day one.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel? I mean, great for him, but
dude, I would have Jason Bourne to that guy.
That's just
What about poor Dennis Fiedler the first day? He had like 3 for 5 and his co had like 16 and a half. Like, how do you keep it on track after that happens?
That man is a phenomenal guide. He was clearly on the right stuff, just not doing it quite.
Well,
right.
he cracked their asses the second day. Like, there's no question he can catch him. There's no question he's on him. You know how it is. Like, we've all had plenty in team tournaments. You bring your buddy or whoever that never fishes and always catch some, and just the way it is.
It happens.
You get all jacked up and fish over him too fast. Brad did that the first day. His co-angler's just wanking him on a Barbie rod in the back of the boat, drop shot, and he's throwing a spinning bait the size of my damn talon.
It worked for Milliken. Why can't it work for me? What the hell?
I didn't hear the story. Tell me the story.
Tell him the story, Brad. I'll be right back.
The co-angler story? Where'd Bruce go?
He's got to take a leak.
The first day I freaking I was throwing a big swim bait. That's what I was catching him on in practice. And dude, my co pulled out a drop shot, caught like 9.5 pounds behind me, which I could have used one of them, but whatever.
Sure.
One of those deals. So what are you you're just pre-practicing every one this year?
Maybe. Not bugs. I
haven't been to bugs either.
I'm a little nervous about that one. It's not really so much pre-practice as it's getting familiar with the navigation of the lake, or reservoir or whatever the hell we're going to. But that's what I did with Toledo. I spent 5-6 days out there just learning the boat lanes and all that stuff, and some other stuff right after you follow.
Nice. And we're getting to a time of year where pre-practice might actually help. I mean, I did a bunch of that. I did U-Follow, I did Toledo Bend, I did Wheeler, but none of it's gonna help. Yes. I was at Wheeler and it was 4 feet low, so I would have been better off with a handheld GPS. And
what time of year were you at Wheeler?
I don't know, a couple earlier. I don't know.
Like
whenever
before you follow?
Yeah, before you follow. Yeah.
Same here.
And it was, it was super low, and I didn't learn much. And I keep telling Brucey, like, I picked that one out to be the scariest one on the whole tour, honestly. But
I think that one's going to fish the smallest.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think it's that good. I mean, they catch big ones there, but
yeah, they do.
It's
but
not
you put
that
225 of us clowns out there. It's gonna fish real small.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Like, how much do you think pre-practice helps? Because like until you know what you're looking for or have an idea, I feel like if you just go in green, like, has it helped you yet?
For navigation, I felt real comfortable on Toledo whipping around, and I had prior tournament experience on Eufaula in Alabama.
Okay.
So Eufaula, Oklahoma, that is a ginormous body of water as well. And I went there just to try and learn to navigate my way around and what areas are going to look what the best is for what I want to do. So I think
that place gets a little sporty there in Oklahoma. Like, it's a windy place.
And how?
Yeah.
Let her blow.
Yeah. Real churned up water, real interesting.
That's a dirt hole. That's like the James River. I mean, it's same water clarity about.
Really?
What do you think about Bughead Lake, where we're going next?
Never been there.
Bug-eye.
Bug-eye.
No?
You mean? Hang on a second. Kerr.
Kerr.
They all call it Carr. Carr Lake.
Oh, I haven't heard
That's how they
Carr.
all say it.
Southern boys are Kerr. We're going to Kerr. What?
I've
Spell
watched
that.
every
K-R-R.
brutal YouTube video that's ever come out of that place, and they all call it Carr.
Carr Lake. The no way car.
I don't even know if I'll find the right lake, right? Like
they're connected.
I'm
One
so
side
confused.
You're going to be on gas.
The North Carolina side
probably.
is Kerr, and the Virginia side is Bugs Island. So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, I guess
Makes
that's what I was
total
told.
sense.
But I don't know. Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
So what one are you looking most forward to this year, or have we been there already?
I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
Probably the St. Lawrence.
Oh yeah, that's a beauty.
Never been there.
Me either.
So,
It's in my province, and it's closer to Texas than it is to St. Lawrence.
well, what's up with that?
You believe that shit? Everyone's
That's
like,
crazy.
how's it going down here? I was like, oh man, it's like trying to wrap my head around these southern reservoirs is crazy. They're like, just wait till July. We're going home. I'm like, nope, it's further. I agree with you there, though. It's got to be good.
It's July. It's smallmouth. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some camping out on donuts. So I'll bring some coffee, but I'm hoping the majority of them are going to be done.
Yeah, I would think they will be. I mean, that place is just. I've been there, and
you've done well.
I've been to a lot of great smallmouth fisheries.
Yeah,
and that's the best.
Okay.
I mean, year round, day in, day out, that place is the best I've ever been. I mean, Sturgeon Bay, obviously, there's a week or two a year that you can't touch it, but this, I mean, it's going to take huge weights, and and it's a big, big place too. It's not like going to Oneida. It's not like you can go do whatever you want. I mean, you can even go fish largemouth if you want. I mean, there's a lot of things to do up there. Yeah, you should fish those, Keith.
Yeah, anyone in the top 30 in
one
points
day.
fish for largemouth, it's a safe bet. You're going to make the elites.
Yeah,
Say that
fish
again?
some largies, Keith.
I said everyone in the top 30 in points should go fishing for largemouth just for a quick, easy layup and just get on to the next one.
Maybe one day of practice. Okay.
God damn it. You'll catch 24 and whip us all again.
Nah.
There's some big, we haven't been dealing with toothy critters, but there's some big toothy critters up that way.
We're going to got a pike at Eufaula.
Little chain girls. Yeah, I did as well.
He was talking
Really?
about him. I was like, now that you said it, we're going to catch one. I haven't seen one all week, and he caught one. He's got his knees bent. He's fighting it like he's Chris Zaldane back there. It's a bass. It's a big bass, he says. It's like, dude, it's a pike. You caught the only pike in Alabama.
Oh, that's awesome. Nasty little things.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, it'll be fun. I've got a little bit of experience, very limited on Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting one. And then there's this little lake or chain of lakes down in Florida that I'm kind of looking forward to as well.
You've had good luck down there. You won down there, right?
I did one time, but that was in March, so it's going to be totally different in October.
I honestly think the way the schedule is, you're going to see a lot of changing in the next 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And the last 3, I mean, you could go into the last 3 leading the points and come out of Florida in 30th place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so different than the elites. We said it earlier. Not like no positions are safe.
No,
I looked at some of these guys' stats last year. Just checked it out before this. John Garrett had a pretty unreal year last year. He had 7 banger tournaments, bunch of top 20s, a top 10, fished all 9, and he had a 170 at Cherokee and a 150 at Ross Barnett and finished 11th in points. But he had a dream season outside of that. Just when the seat, like when the bottom is so low where you can literally finish and not get any points, it's just so volatile. And it's
Kyle Patrick was right there as well, not to cut you off.
Hartwell bombed it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. He finished like 10th, I think, 10th overall last year.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 160 at Hartwell. I think I truly believe no one's going to make it without a 75th to 125th finish. I think everyone's going to have one of those in the top 9.
Okay.
Think that's bold to say?
Probably.
You think there's someone that's going to go 9 tournaments without finishing, and the 75th would be the bottom?
I would say somebody's going to do all 9 and not finish less than 50th.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No. You think?
I don't think so.
That would be incredible.
All that diversity? I don't. Or is it you? Are you picking you?
No.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
No.
We heard it here first.
That's just that's my prediction. I don't know who.
We should start firing up a Calcutta on this show and make it interesting, something to like follow, something to track. Because everyone's got a different outlook.
I mean, if a guy does that, yeah, we should do that. If a guy does that,
we're talking to the most optimistic and the most optimistic guy I've ever met in my life. I hardly know him, so of course he's going to say that.
Yeah.
I am not saying names, but somebody's gonna pull off a phenomenal year like that.
Without a bottom 50. No one did it last year.
Okay.
Keith Poche had the best year you could like ever see, and he had a 70th.
He did have a phenomenal year.
Unbelievable year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's punching below his weight class too. And he still had a 70th.
Right.
I mean, didn't our buddy Coop make it? Didn't he have like 120th place finish on one?
Did he really?
He had a 120 and a 98. Every single person that finished in the top 9 except for Poche had 100th last year.
Wow.
Do you want to rethink your thinking now, Keith, or no?
I'm going to stick with it, damn it. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'll buy you some Bud Light or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Milliken. He's well rounded. That Trey McKinney, really good. Well rounded. I mentioned like Brett Cannon. Who knows? The sky's the limit for that guy. He's caught him deep and shallow now, and back to back thirds. So, I mean, and there's really not that many like curveballs. There's not like a straight spotted Bass Lake, and there's only one smallmouth tournament. So,
I know
you could take those guys. You could take those guys from Texas. I mean, that have been just cleaning our clocks lately, and I mean the whole thing with Thousand Islands, like struggling's 18 a day. Like, I mean, you could literally catch 15 a day in Thousand Islands and get no points. You know,
possible.
So, I mean, there's that, but we don't have that much north going on this year, which is sad to see. But
kind of sad.
Yeah, it is a little bit tough when they say we're preparing you for the Elite Series and there's 3 smallmouth tournaments on the Elite Series and 1 in the Opens.
Right. Right.
But I get it. It's just the way it works. Not everyone can do those.
From somebody else earlier, I got to get my directions right here.
Yeah. I've said it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a hard deal. I mean, all of us on this little thing here, Brucey especially, I mean, we're 14 hours away from home everywhere we go, like
minimum.
And that's a rare thing. If you look at 98% of the field, they can't say that. You know, they got some closer tournaments. We don't have any. I mean, we're out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't fish anything that's like home at all, like nothing. I mean, Thousand Islands.
That's nothing like anywhere we've got, unless you count the Great Lakes, kind of, sort of.
Sturgeon Bay, but
Sturgeon,
I mean, it could be an advantage though, because like if you fish in Texas every week and you go to Thousand Islands, you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Or if you go to Bugs Island, you're going to be like, it just seems wild. When you're from this far north, they're all foreign. They're all Mars.
Yeah.
So
it's all
you
French
don't really
to
get
me.
that. I've noticed I really haven't got that like big overwhelm, you know, because they're all so much different than what I have up here, that it's just like you don't really I don't know, just haven't really got that spin out yet. So maybe I don't know, maybe there's an advantage there that we're just not looking at. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to come to Lake of the Woods and watch everyone hit a rock and
how much fun would that be? The service trailer would have to bring in a semi full of lower units for everybody.
Yeah, and there's so many bass that everyone would be catching 2.5 to 3 pounders thinking they're doing okay, bringing 15 and just get stroked. So that's usually the case for the guys that show up to like KBI. I think like Brad.
Yeah. And thanks, Bruce. And it's making us tougher though. All the travels making us tougher, you know, like I mean that's the biggest thing, the travel. I mean Brucey, for God's sake, I mean he's like worse than a semi driver. I mean that wears on you after a while. There's no doubt about it.
Are you driving back and forth to all of them, Bruce, or no?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah, I got lots of responsibilities up here, well, actually got a few jobs. So there's I'm not staying down there.
Okay.
In September I'll stay. So, but I mean, you only get so many days off work, and it was either, you know, grind it out as hard as you can or not do it at all, you know?
Gotcha. Grind it, dude.
So, but I've had some buddies like this last one. I had Matt Ryberg and Devin Gurniak. They just drove, like I pretty much hardly took the wheel on the way back. So it was, you know, that was really nice. I got another buddy coming to the next couple, and yeah, the co-anglers have been saving my ass. So
good.
Yeah, that's why I keep taking them.
Good,
that's why we're the co-angler safe haven.
All right. I love it.
Yeah, but
what else do you guys want to cover?
I don't know. We're not.
You didn't. So what was the hot bait the first day on that 27-pound blast?
Come on, Brad.
It was between a jig and the Reaction Innovations man bear pig.
Man bear pig.
How's a man bear pig?
Too. What's that?
What's a man bear pig? I'm like,
it's half man, half bear, half pig, brother.
That's what you were hunting on the Friday night of the Classic, Brad.
Yeah. There you go.
It's it's like a creature bait. It's Reaction Innovations version of the that brush hog thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a lizard, sorta.
I mean, I had to get one lame question in there. I was just curious for myself, mostly.
Did you Texas rig it or Carolina?
Texas rig. I was dropping on them, man. Not dropping straight down, but making a cast. I wasn't just aimlessly flailing it about. I was making very specific casts.
Yep.
Nice.
That sounds like fun.
It was
so much fun stretching the fluoro out in 12 feet, flipping isolated fish. I was doing the same thing as you, except I was using a football jig and catching way less, but it was just so much fun. Like
same principle.
Right. No, it was pretty spectacular. Number 5 fish was that 9.5, and I watched it eat, and I was like, oh, good Lord. And when I set the hook on that thing, and it was just nothing but mouth that came up, I didn't. You guys have all seen me twitch. You probably saw me on stage. It was I was a wreck. I had to sit down for 10 minutes. It took me that long to retie, and I hit spot lock. I stood back up, and 10 minutes later, I had a 7 3/4. That one called out a 14-incher. I left that spot after 2 hours. That's all I stayed on. It was 2 hours. I had a 14-incher when I rolled in there at 11 o'clock. I left it by 1. Thinking that I'd save something for day 2.
And nothing on day 2, or you got a few there?
I got a 5, a 3 1/4, and a 2.5 off of it, and then I missed an absolute freaking stud at the end, not the end of the day, but middle part of the day. Right as the camera boat rolled up, and I had a dart in my face, so they couldn't keep the pictures online, but they were on for a little while. But I put the screws to that thing.
You gotta be able to. You gotta spit that out quicker, but
no, I bit down on that thing because I knew that if the hook got in that fish, it was coming, and it was going to be size right, like 8+.
Oh wow!
So you just kept the dart burning like the midnight oil the whole fight?
Didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. The guy's like, yeah, just do your thing. And he didn't expect me to get a bite. And I said, one just kissed it. And I felt for it and reared back, and it was on for a split sec. But I think it just had clamped down on the old MVP.
Right. That dart thing, Fighters really got that mastered.
Well, see, he's a professional, and I'm just trying to work my way up to it.
You're learning.
They're using wide angle cameras, and Fighter can spit it right out of view, like 15, 18 feet. That dart goes flying. It's a Marlboro just cannonballing. Like if I ever want to light a bonfire, I'm going to throw a bunch of gas on it and get Fighter to spit a dart on it from Minnesota to Canada.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, some guys practice flipping. You should just maybe burn darts and practice spitting them out.
Well, it was a black and mild cigar, so you really don't want to just have a couple of drags and then get rid of it, you know?
God, that sounds good.
Oh, you have no idea.
I got one right
here.
here.
God, Brucey's fired one up.
Oh, you're going to blast one off there, bud?
Yeah, I don't actually ever. I've maybe smoked two of these in the last 2 years, but.
All right.
Is that the secret? Is that how you catch 9.5 pounders? You got burn down the
burning darts and breaking hearts. That's what they say.
It was an attitude adjuster because the morning was so slow. It really, truly was just an attitude adjuster. And Lucas came rolling up on me. I was like, dude, I'm having an attitude adjuster. He's like, do your thing. And I didn't even think to spit it out. So, but the pictures were really cool. I mean, that rod was just doubled over.
I've never that lake was the scariest lake I think I've ever been a part of how
volatile
you could be a hero or a zero.
Yep.
And you have no clue. Like you didn't have a clue. Like, and there's such big fish in there. Like you didn't have to catch one the first day and you could have made a check, you know? I mean, you could catch 36 pounds out of there.
100%. I would. My small fish was much like Razzy's, you know. He didn't you say he had like a 2-pounder in for his small fish?
He had a 14.5 incher and 26 pounds.
There you go. I had a 2 3/4 and 27.14. So, yeah.
Wow.
And I think if I'd have stayed there another hour, I probably could have got rid of that 2 3/4.
You probably should have.
Hindsight, yeah. But
that's
2 guys in that tournament, you and Brett Cannon, both made the top 10 without a limit. When does that ever happen at a whack fest like that?
It doesn't.
It was just such a cool place to be because even when you were sucking, you didn't like have to panic. On that last day when you zeroed, last probably
day,
did it even feel bad?
No, let's go back to the previous day, the long day, because I was flight 19, boat 205, and Captain Bradley over there, him and I got to chat, and then we both missed our boat call. So
we missed. I didn't even tell you, Brucey. We missed our numbers.
Yeah. So we got out like 212, 213, something like that. We snuck in line, you know, we were 205 and 206, but whatever. But that last day of the full day or the long day, Friday, right? That was so mentally just exhausting because I knew I needed 15 pounds and I just could not pull that last fish. And I mean, I tried what I thought I could do. I mean, my area was exhausted and I ran other stuff similar to it and I could catch short fish like crazy. Some of them would really crush it. Some of them wouldn't. They'd just shy away. You'd pull up to them, you'd throw out there, they'd swim off. And they looked like decent fish, you know, 2 to 3 pounders, 4-pounder maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's just so Saturday that leads into this. I just went fishing. I started on my good stuff. I ran a shallow thing. I looked at a map and I said, I am going to go have fun today. And I did. I went up towards the big bridge and found an area up there where I could just go throw a frog around. And I had a few roll on it. I missed one that was probably north of 4 pounds. I started flipping. I had one boat jerk the rod out of my hand. I didn't connect with that because I haven't flipped in a year, it seems like. So I was just having fun, laughing. 5 minutes to go, throwing a square bill around some shallow bank stuff and load up with a 3-pounder, and the thing comes off right at the boat. It's like, well, what do? You know, my marshal's like, I get to put one on Bass Track. I said, don't speak so soon, and boop, off it comes. So,
you know, but it's special to make that top 10, and there's no
100%.
doubt about it.
Yep.
And when I made it with the camera, I've made it twice too. Once with the Marshall, once with the camera.
For sure.
That camera, you don't want to suck when the camera's playing, because I sucked when it played.
Yeah, but what do you do?
Bad.
It just can't let it get to you, you know? As easy as it sounds on paper.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get bugged out about the camera. I just got bugged out that I wasn't catching them.
Sure.
You know, the whole world's watching you, right? And it's you want to do good. And then that day, I think I hooked a big one and come jumping at the drop shot. I'm like, God damn it! And that's blasted across the airwave. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's emotions, and it's
absolutely.
But it is also the coolest. I mean, Brucey's had just an awesome run in these tournaments so far. And, you know, he made a top 10, but it was a short tournament. And he hasn't experienced that rolling out that last morning when there's only 10 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's nothing better on earth. I mean, I don't care what they say.
Hey, did Ben talk at all about his entourage that was following him around on Saturday?
Oh yeah. Well, him and I were fishing the same zone. I don't know, maybe you were too, but he'd come in and those boys would just I'd be right in it.
No, this was Saturday at Blast Off.
Oh, Saturday. Okay. On Friday they were over 20.
Shut the door.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, not shitting you.
So they all staged. They all staged just to the left of where we're going out single file to the no wake, right?
Yeah.
Ben takes off and 30 freaking boats jump up on pad right behind him. Boat 2, Trey McKinney, he had to keep idling. I had to keep idling for probably another couple minutes, it seemed like. It was just boat after boat after boat after boat chasing down Ben. It was the most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Yeah, those running lanes get busy.
No, this was right at Blast Off, bud. Just outside the no wake.
Even with the 20 boats down the lake, they were giving him lots of room and everything, but it looked like a damn race out there. And he was dancing too. He wasn't going 52. Even in the middle of the day, he'd go blasting. And they'd give him a minute, and then they'd all pick up and go running wide open. I was like, geez, these boys are burning $110 on a spectator day.
They're dropping dots though, so there you go.
Oh yeah,
that would have been pretty neat to watch. I mean, if you could have watched when he had that big bait working. I mean, the guy's really good at that.
We never talked about it when he was on, but there were 2 instances where we were on the same clay point program. I'd just never seen it before, and could just barely scrap up a bite, and he was coming in and just mopping them on the next point down or the next point up.
Sure.
And I told the Bassmaster guys this too, but I saw him throwing a glide bait the size of my Helix 10. I was like, I don't even have one.
And you're a keeper bass.
Yeah, I bought one off Brad. On Friday night, and I could see these big suspended blobs, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. Never thrown a glide bait in my life, and I start day 2 whipping a big glide bait just because cousin Ben's over on the next point.
Did you get a nibble on it or no?
No. No. I exploded the reel the second cast in.
That's my reel. Come on, Brucey.
I got it. It's mono. That. No memory.
Put some new string on it for him. Some Trilene XT. He'll be fine.
I was gonna do 10 pound Suffolk braid.
There you go.
Well, there you go. You can cast that thing a mile.
So my roomy buddy Derek on day one. We're sharing a spot. It's shallow flat. And we're just kind of hucking stuff around and fishing around. And we're just hoping and praying for some decent bites, thinking that we could probably roll in there, get 14, 15 pounds pretty easy, and then go do our thing. All of a sudden, he's 50-ish yards away from me, and I hear this commotion, just all hell breaking loose by his boat. He's got the rod doubled up. I was like, what in the heck? And then all of a sudden, just the agony of defeat sets in, and I like, what the hell happened? He goes, I just lost a giant. I said, what, a giant carp? Because there was a ton of carp in the area too. Yeah. And he's like, no, dude, it was the biggest bass I've ever seen in my life. I said, okay, you got to be kidding me. And it was on my kid's glide bait. So I kind of go over by him and he's telling me the story. So he's fishing around and all of a sudden, like 20 yards off the 11 o'clock of his trolling motor, this ginormous bass just blasts what they call a perch down there. I'd call it a little hybrid. You know what I mean? Just blasts the perch. This thing is like quivering on the surface. And it's trying to take swipes at it and eat the thing or whatever. And he's watching this happen. Well, finally, he puts down his crankbait rod and picks up this kid's glide bait, chucks it out there towards the perch or this hybrid. And he's working the glide, and all of a sudden the bass swings at it. And he's like, oh, my God, it almost had it. He's telling his co-angler this. Pitches it back out there again. Oh, it swung at it again. Third time, it hits. And he just kind of leans into it because he was shocked, Said that fish came up. He goes, Keith, I've never seen a bass that big in my life. And he's caught 12 and a half pounders before. He goes, he knows that thing was mid-teens, like 14, 15 pounds. Came undone right at the trolling motor.
Unreal. Man, I was reading an article today because my algorithm's still locked into Toledo. And these local boys weighed one in, like they brought her down to the tackle store. And it was a 13 and a half pounder right now. And, I think it was yesterday or the day before or whatever it was. And he caught it on a frog.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I read the article, and I don't know, maybe it's like a TMZ fake news deal, but it seemed pretty legit. And I guess this thing was just crashing up in the bush like a carp, but then they saw the shad start flying, and they saw the stripe, and they saw it was a bass, and yeah, he cracked it on a frog, a 13 and a half pounder. So anywhere else in the world where someone tells you they lose a 13 or 14 pounder, you just automatically you assume that person's full of shit for life.
Well, no, I watched
but that's a different deal. That is an actual thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But could you?
If I would have lost any of those 6 or 7 pounders, though, I would have called them 10 pounders. When you're not used to bass that big, and they do that like the wallow that's on the Keith Combs Bassmaster commercial with a big pink worm in its mouth. When they do that big wallow, they all look like 10 pounders, and I would have smashed a rod if I lost any of those because they just look so damn big.
Oh, Lord. Now it's a very special body of water.
Yeah, good place.
I can't wait to go back.
Party, anything like that. I'm got to talk some buddies into going back down there if there's no derbies there anytime soon because that is unbelievable.
February and first part of March is what I hear is the time to be down there.
That's what they caught 43 pounds there in a tournament in February.
Yep. With like a 13-pound kicker.
Wow.
Right. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That's
good stuff.
Crazy.
Me and Brad.
No, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, how about you guys all fired up for the rest of the year? You guys got big plans? What are your predictions?
My plan is to quit sucking.
Okay.
My plan is to quit sucking.
We're gonna get off the
suck bus, and he's doing good. And I don't know. Who knows?
All right.
Just keep grinding, bud. I don't know.
It's a grind.
I don't know.
100%, it's a grind, but we just got to put the work in, man.
Brad, there's about 50 people that have already blown their whole season. You're not one of them.
I know, but
you're still well within the balance. It's not, yeah.
It's all doable.
In points, and there's 7 tournaments left with 200-point swings.
And if you say everybody is going to have a shit one,
I don't mean I'm not like I don't think anyone's going to make it without having a 75th, just based on last year's results. Last year the schedule is a little bit more diverse, I think.
And that was based on, did you do the top 9 last year or the top 3 that made it?
Top 9.
Okay, so you went down the road with it. I mean, it's going to be different this year with 9 making it, obviously. Because Cooper made it last year, made the top 3, right? With those finishes. So he was well within the top 9, obviously. So
yeah, he actually double qualified last year.
Yeah, he made it both ways.
But last year there were only 89 guys. This year there's 175.
I have
and
Brucey.
It is stout. I mean, there's
it is stout.
Damn,
I have a feeling after you fall in June, we'll be down to like 120. I bet.
Boats dropping off.
Dude, you smoked them on Eufaula. What are you crying about?
No, I'm not saying.
At that point in the season.
At that point in the season, if you don't have.
Oh, you're saying we're going to be down to 120 guys that are.
Yes, we're going to lose a lot of guys.
Yeah, but when they started with 89 last year, they were down to 52. So it's all relative.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
yeah.
You think guys are going to drop and lose the deposit then, or do you think that really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do it all the time.
Do that.
Yeah. It's either you go fish 4 more and spend another 10 grand, or you cut your loss.
I get you.
I'm not doing it, but
no,
people will.
I think St. Lawrence will be I think that's when the drops will come, because everyone's going to want to go there just for a trip anyway.
Yeah, I suppose that's in July. Yeah.
But then there's a big break. Who knows? I don't know. The way it lays out is pretty wild.
It's going to be kind of nice to have most of August off, huh?
I just signed up for the KBI today. That's the only Canadian tournament. Are you guys doing any back home derbies, or are you just going to rest in between?
I've been trying to get in this derby on Pokegama. And they will not let me in. I hope they're listening tonight, because let me in. Talking the Minnesota Bass team thing, they will not let me in. I even fish with my kid.
I got some pull with Peter Perovich. I said, don't let freaking Brad in there.
You son of a bitch. Why would you do that?
I'm messing. They want to fill it with guys that are going to fish the whole season, and I don't blame them one bit. I said that's the way it should be, instead of having a hammer come in and jackpot it.
Yeah, we bitch enough about
elite qualifier.
I have to deal with jackpotters every day. Why can't I be a jackpotter once in a while? Right?
It's not in your DNA makeup.
Oh God, I would love to go there. Honestly, I would love to go there and just put a hurt on them. But
that lake's definitely coming back with the smelt and whatnot too.
Oh yeah, it's dude. Milliken was on pretty much the same program, but with a 15-inch glide bait, right? Like I fish Pelican the same way Milliken's fishing a 15-inch glide bait. I throw a little swim bait, but same deal, basically.
We'll just
what's the same
cut it down to like a 7.5-inch freaking glide bait.
Milliken's fishing bait blowing up and on sharp edges of it, and you do the same thing on Pokegama. That smelt comes up, and you catch them.
Sometimes that stuff is suspended over 80, 90 feet of water, down 20. Maybe
that's a fun deal.
Yeah, for sure.
You know all about it, Brucey. You're the Schmeltenator king.
I like Schmeltenated. I thought I was going to catch him on that stupid lake on the Schmeltenator. We went to Rayburn the day before. Never been there. Didn't even start the big motor, and we're just crushing them on open water, like casting the Schmeltenator and the jerk shad at them, like out in the middle.
I know.
Of the lake.
Nice. I know. The second day towards the
totally
end,
different lake.
I could have caught him on it. Like.
Yeah,
when you saw me. You
at the ramp
on it.
Yeah, I know. I caught some there in practice. They just didn't get fired up on the bait till the afternoon. But went to Rayburn. Like I was like, they're beside each other. They should be the same. The first warm up day I've ever had at one of these. I'm like, this will be good.
Yeah.
catch him a totally different way. And I go to Toledo and it's just totally different. And my Australian co-angler, I was like, oh, it's so much different than Rayburn. He's like, oh, that's why it's called fucking Rayburn, not Toledo Bend. He says, like, Jesus. Just met the guy.
Brutal honesty for you.
Yeah, half an hour in, he's just knifing me.
This is the same guy, Keith. This guy, we know. We met him at the Classic briefly, right? And
carrying the Classic trophy.
Yeah,
nice.
He was
First
carrying
day in America.
Yeah, he's carrying the trophy, and he's like, I think Gussie got it lined up. He's going to stay with us. So he comes to the house, and we all get to the house. We're all starving. He goes running in the house and makes spaghetti. We're like, oh, yeah, we're all get spaghetti, right? No,
just
he was making it for his lunch for all week. Then he gets done with that.
Lunch.
Yeah, spaghetti boat lunch. He gets done with that. He freaking puts a steak on the frying pan, like seizes the frying pan. The whole place fills up with smoke. I'm like,
aluminum frying pan,
this guy?
No oil on high.
Oh no!
Raw dogs a steak on it. Smokes the whole damn place out. It's like 6 o'clock. We're all it's all in our eyes. Like we start practice the next day. We're just like, what?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we life isn't all that great sometimes at the house.
That's why we've got the refuge. He was wicked after that. He was so funny.
Yeah, he was just killing the spiders in the house, probably. With all that smoke.
Yeah, it's making a safe space for the boys to rest.
No doubt.
But that's the old refuge. If you're a misfit co-angler and you need a place to stay, we'll set you up.
Take you
hit Brucey up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got internet at this place, by the way.
That's money.
Are you staying on the Virginia side or in North Carolina?
Right now?
No, like when you go to Bugs. Where are you now?
I'm on a little lake in Tennessee.
Watts Bar.
Is that what it's called? I looked at a map and I couldn't see where it said on there, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Look how secretive he is. We have
I told you I was going to be at Watts. I'm dinking around out here for a couple.
I thought it was secret.
What's is it Clarksville or something like that? I think is where we're staying.
It's on the north
Virginia.
end of the lake. Okay, so you're staying in the town.
Yeah,
nice. Brucey, where are we staying?
We're staying in North Carolina, Norlena.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I like it.
So they have, it's called Southern Star Distillery, I believe, but it's out of North Carolina. The best rye whiskey I've had in a very, very, very long time.
Ooh, I like rye whiskey. I'll tell Keith to text it to me. Just text it to me. I don't write shit down.
Just play this back. Southern Star. Rye
Southern
whiskey.
Star. There we go. I won't forget that. I forgot
that's the name of it. I got a picture somewhere, but I think that's what it is. When I head over there, I'm going to be going to a liquor store, stocking up. They've also got a kind of like a coffee liqueur as well that goes really good in coffee, like a cream liqueur, coffee flavored.
Ooh,
yes, sir. Oh yeah, you make bubbles with that. It's kind of dangerous.
So, are you coming back to Minnesota at all this year, or are you just freelancing all year?
No, I'll be back. It's either going to be after Wheeler or after Eufaula,
Oklahoma. Oh,
yeah.
That's a long stretch between Wheeler and Eufaula, like 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks, but I might be able to go find something to do. Go on a little road trip.
Right.
You should drive out to California Delta during that time. Go fish that. That looks fun.
If you're driving, I'll ride.
Oh, I got stuff to do. I got to go turkey hunting in a day or two.
Well, that'll be fun. Busy. I should just give you my address. So you go up there and whack one of them turkeys that's cruising around my yard.
We're going to southern Iowa to go whack some turkeys. I heard I heard the boys are catching pretty good down on Murray. It's kind of the same thing though. They're doing about everything, so it should be an interesting tournament. Yeah.
I hear that's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, Murray. It should be pretty good. Yeah, Murray's good right now.
I wonder how similar that is to Kerr.
Probably about the same.
And then
Murray has big ones. I don't think Kerr
we're-
has any big ones.
No, but we're 200.
I think you come in with a limit of
200
14 inches on Kerr, you'll be just fine.
Come on.
Milliken said it was way better than that. Milliken is the best juice of anyone around, so he knows.
Say that last part again, so that I could hear it. I thought I heard what you said.
Milliken has the best juice around, and he knows. Like, he has some good intel, and he said that looks good.
There you go.
He was sharing some. He was sharing some with me and Bruce. Nice one.
Like on air or before you guys started recording?
On air. It's on air.
I'll have to go back and
telling
watch.
us what they were going to bite. You better watch. I mean, he was breaking her down for us, so we're happy.
Good deal. Good.
Yeah.
Top 10 that thing. Come out with a W.
I'm just like, dude, when I get 5, like I'm little baby steps. Like 5 is gonna be good. Like 5 is where it's at.
I was disappointed that it's a 14-inch minimum again there. I thought it was finally going to 12.
Oh my god. They weigh more.
I would have had a limit if it would have been 12. You know?
Everyone would have had a limit at Toledo if they were 12.
I know. I would have felt better about it though.
You would have caught
you guys catch on Toledo.
How many what?
What?
How many spotted bass?
Not lots.
I weighed in 2 the last day.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I like those Eufaula spots. Those things had some meat to them.
The Eufaula spots were chunks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a couple like practice days where it would have had a 15 bag of those.
Nice.
Brad had a real good spot hole.
Yeah, I heard he had like a 30-pound bag one day just on spots.
30 pounds of
No,
spot.
it was like 15, but yeah, caught some.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you caught him twice, so there you go, 30.
Yeah.
Are there spots in that? Are there spots in Bug Eye?
I'm sure there's spots everywhere.
I'm sure there is.
Huh.
Bug Eye.
This one we're gonna fry them up. I wish we could keep spots during the tournament or during practice so we could fry them up on a fish fry.
Well, you can. You just can't live pull them. You just drag them on a stringer next to the boat.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
we'll just have to do
idea.
one of my signature shore lunches.
Yeah. They seem like they'd be good to eat. They're so firm and they're grippy. Like they seem like they'd be good to eat.
They'd be
Like a
tasty.
perch.
They're eating shad.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I wouldn't
crawfish
eat
or whatever.
3-pounders. I'd eat 12, 13 inchers, you know?
Yeah. Got to get in touch
And
with the lake.
everyone, they all want them dead. Like everyone we talked to down in where we just were, Toledo, they're like, kill every spot you catch. Like they don't want them in there.
Really?
All they do is eat bait and don't grow.
Well, but that's, I mean, how many 8, 10, whatever, 12-pound largemouth are eating the 2-pound spots?
Yeah, that's probably true. No, they're after those big dumb gizzard things. They're just like,
Oh, I'm sure, but if a spot swims by and it's a 12-incher, don't you think he's going to go, ooh, piece of candy?
yeah, I don't know. They're pretty gritty. Like I feel like you touch them and they make you bleed. I don't know. I guess. I guess
funny.
that'd be good. Well, we better wrap this show
thing
up.
up.
All right. It's been fun. I appreciate the invite, guys. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, but
Absolutely,
keep Matters
don't-
top 10. It's been fun to
Stay in that top 10, Keith, and we'll have you on again. And don't ditch us for the South again, though. That's pretty rude.
Yeah, crankbait army.
Hey,
I walked by Derek's boat at the ramp. He's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I was like, "Oh, good." And I looked at his deck, and there were 5 green crankbaits. I was like, "Were you catching any on green crankbaits?" He's like, "I actually was." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Uh-huh.
look at your
weird,
boat.
right? He's a crankbait hucking machine. So
Yeah, I
True
got
story.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll link up at some point here, bud. Enjoy.
absolutely, we'll touch base at Bug Eye, and I'm sure the other ones. And in the meantime, Brad's got my number now. I've got his. Now he's going to be bothering me at midnight, wanting pictures and stuff.
Yeah, he calls. He's got a trick. We one last story. We've actually never turned on a TV in one of our rental houses ever.
No kidding.
All we do, we sit back, Brad picks up his phone, puts it on speaker, and starts calling guys. That's our night.
You don't want that call though, but we might make that call.
Make that call. We'll have fun with it.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Keep your
buddy.
phone on, bud. We'll talk to you soon. Good job, man. It's been fun to follow, and thanks for
Sounds
hopping
great.
on, bud.
Thank you guys so much. Be good.
See you, bud.
Yep. Peace.
You leaving too, Brad?
I think so. My jaw's sore
from talking. I got to do a podcast in 20 minutes with Kyle Wood.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Tell
get
Kyle
the net
hi.
podcast. If you guys can't get enough, get on Get the Net. We got Kyle Wood. We're gonna talk a little circuit breaker. We're gonna talk a little, I don't know, whatever. He's a good dude.
Absolutely, that's a good one. No doubt about it. Well, you have a good night, Brucey. I will. Thanks, Bax Galaxy, for being on again. And
you haven't said that right in one episode yet.
Okay, thanks.
Say it till you
Galaxy.
get it right.
I had it right, but you interrupted me. Thanks, Bax Galaxy. I got it, Brucey. Thanks everyone for the support. We're growing. Everything's going good. Brucey's hitting his stride. I can't speak English very well, so I try, but we're doing well.
Yeah, thanks for following along, and we'll see you at the next one here. I'm sure we'll have some more stories and some more guests. So have a good night, everyone.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.